Hi, this is Ogres, and this video review is on WWE NXT Takeover Unstoppable that took place from. I had it there just before. Took place in Winter Park, Florida, from Full Sail University at the time. It took place on May 20th, 2015. Today's recording date is November 11th, 2021. It is just after 9 p.m. I finished watching this takeover again just over 3 hours ago. So yeah, I was supposed to do this recording over 2 hours ago, but I'm just getting around to it now. So yeah, let's get into it. So let me just write down where it took place from. Live from Winter Park, Florida. Alright, got it. I forget who the commentators were for this takeover. I think it was Rich Brennan, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves at the time. This was, I believe, the second ever takeover that I watched at this point in time. It is now almost 6.5 years since this takeover took place. To be exact, 6 years, 5 months, maybe 21 days, going off the time zone difference. Yeah, 6 years, 5 months, and 21 days. So let me just write that down. Just bear with me, guys. Just make sure I get this down. And WWE Network had been around for over a year at this point. For me, it's very, very new. It became available in Australia, I think, around January 2015. So at this point in time, it was just over 4 months old. So it was very, very new at the time, the WWE Network. So, and this was the only way I could watch NXT shows because it didn't come out on DVD. This was the last full year that I collected DVDs until I got back into it around 2019 or something like that. But I've run out of storage space, so I can't buy any more wrestling DVDs or any movies for that matter. Now I'm just gonna watch movies on Stan and the DVDs that I already have. But onto this NXT Takeover Unstoppable review. The first match on this takeover was which was the opening match, was Tyler Breeze versus Finn Balor in a number one contenders match for the NXT Championship. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first time that a number one contenders match has ever opened a takeover in history. I don't think there was any in 2014 that opened a takeover like that. So this probably happened a couple more times, but this was the first time it happened. But Finn Balor won this match by pinfall, is now the number one contender for the NXT Championship. Then there was a promo, a behind the scenes look at NXT Live. I wish I was able to go to an NXT show in the US, but I managed to go to the NXT Live tour in Melbourne back in December 2016. So that was at least a great experience. Actually, yeah, I don't want to move the cord, but when I do the NXT Takeover, excuse me a sec. When I do NXT Takeover London 2015, I will show off my my NXT program guide, I guess, from 2016, and my NXT live tour shirt from the same year. It's the only one I have. It's the only one I have from that tour. I'm probably not going to get another one again. So, but back to this review. Match number 2 was Dana Brooke and Emma versus Bayley and Charlotte in a tag team match, but Bayley and Charlotte won the match by pinfall when I believe Charlotte hit the natural selection on Dana Brooke. Then there was a promo. Next class of NXT recruits are introduced. Ironically enough, this is where Billy Kay, Peyton Royce, a couple of other talents, and then Apollo Crews at the end were introduced. This was the new wave of NXT recruits. This was when the Performance Center was fairly new at this point. It was like a couple of years in. So, match number 3 was Rhino versus Baron Corbin, but Corbin, with one of his rare takeover victories, won by pinfall. I think he was newly a heel at this point, but he still had the Lone Wolf character at this point. I'm not sure how long he had been in NXT at this point. I'm assuming he was in NXT for over a couple of years at this point. I could be wrong. I need to go back and check it because I wasn't watching NXT in 2013 in particular. Even though every now and then I'll check it out, but I wasn't watching it regularly. I started really watching it when the WWE Network was available here, so that was in 2015. So, where am I? Okay, there was an interview backstage. Greg Hamilton interviews Kevin Owens. Yeah, and where is that guy, Greg Hamilton, now? He's out of here because he didn't shut his mouth when it came to. Anyway, you'll know what I'm talking about. It was about some sort of rapper sampling his voice for a track, and then he got very pissed off about it and said that WWE will come down on his butt and try to sue him. Well, that didn't really help him. It didn't help in case he should have just shut up. So, match number 4 on this takeover was Enzo. What was that? Notification. On my iPhone 7. Enzo and Cass with Carmella versus Blake and Murphy for the NXT Tag Team Titles. Blake and Murphy retained by pinfall, but that was when Alexa Bliss came out and shoved Enzo off the top rope. And then Blake or Murphy, whoever, they looked the same with the hairstyles they had. One of them pinned Enzo and retained the NXT Tag Team Titles. That was the first of 3 championship matches on this takeover. But I believe the match of this takeover was match number 5, which was a semi-main event. Becky Lynch challenging, I believe for the first time, one-on-one at a takeover against Sasha Banks for the NXT Women's title. Becky Lynch, I think, first adopted her orange hair look at this takeover, and I think she had her new theme music at this point. I could be wrong. I need to check that as well. I need to background check that one. But Sasha Banks, this is a back and forth match. They had been friends before when when Lynch was a heel and sided with Sasha, but now Lynch is a de facto face, or was at this point. This was probably Becky Lynch's best ever match in NXT, especially at a takeover. But Sasha Banks ended up winning by submission after a solid semi-main event on a takeover. I think it went like over 12 minutes or whatever, including entrances. But she retained her NXT Women's title, and Becky Lynch got a standing ovation at the end as she got out of the ring and left to go to the back. Then match number 6, which was the main event, was Sami Zayn challenging Kevin Owens for the NXT Championship. This ended up going to a no contest after, I think it was, with entrances, I believe this went just over 16 minutes or 15 minutes, something like that. But it went to a no contest. Kevin Owens retains his NXT Championship, but Samoa Joe debuts after this match at NXT TakeOver Unstoppable after it was ruled a no contest, and wanted to fight Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens backed away and out of the ring. He left to the back. Then he came back into the arena, and teased wanting to fight Joe, but then he backed away again. So yeah, that's how that NXT Takeover ended, the Unstoppable one. So that's it for that review. Let me just grade this. Match of the night was definitely the women's, the NXT Women's Title match. The NXT Championship could have had a better finish, even if it was a counter or no, not a counter. Even if it was a DQ, that would have made sense, but it just went to a no finish, no contest, whatever. The opening match was solid, I'll give it that. Solid opener. Decent second match. The third match was good, but nothing, but not great. Good, not great. Match number 4 was decent, but yeah, this was a great match. Match number 5, that is. And then match number 6 was good until the finish. But at least Samoa Joe's debut, it made sense for him to debut. And then great debut post-match. As a grade overall, this gets a B+. And as a score, this gets a solid 9 out of 10. I didn't realize it at the time, but this was a very, very good takeover. If I was rating it based off what I watched at the time, I would have given this a 7 at least. 7.5. But it gets it would still get a B grade for me at the time because of how great the matches were. Definitely match of the night was Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. It's a shame that these two would not meet again until the main roster, which was WrestleMania 32 in that triple threat women's title match, I believe at the time. I think it was just the women's title at that point. The Divas, or was it the Divas title? I forget when the Divas title was retired. But whatever. Maybe I should yeah, I'm gonna review that WrestleMania, even though it's over 5 years already. But I probably won't do that until next year for that one. So that's it for this video review. Yeah, so let me know what you thought about the video review in the comment section below. Like this video and subscribe to my channel. So yeah, the next video review will be on the November 12th, 2001 edition of WWF Raw, which was just 6 days before Survivor Series 2001, which was a very important Raw. So yeah, I'll find the Unstoppable theme and put it in the comment section below and look for Becky's new theme, I guess, and see when that came in when she debuted at NXT, because she didn't debut straight away with this character change when she first debuted at NXT back in, what was it, June 2014 or something like that. But yeah, this has been August. Peace out.